Hey, this is Russ Payton. Just want to let you know that the Kickstarter for Season 3 of Ludonarrative Dissidents podcast is still going on. It's a tabletop review RPG podcast I do with Greg Stolze and James Wallis. If you back the Kickstarter, you get early access to all episodes, the chance to vote on which books you review for Season 3, and a PDF zine with new games and an essay about reviewing RPGs. There's a link to the Kickstarter in the show notes. Thanks, and enjoy the episode. Hey, it's Russ Payton with Roleplay Public Radio. This is RPPR Actual Play. This is Imperium Maledictum, a Warhammer 40k role-playing game, in which case the players take on the role of adepts doing some stuff for a guy, as role-playing games seldom do. It's seldom, this is a very novel concept for a game, to be a bunch of people doing stuff for a guy. And in the last session, our intrepid heroes were given their mission by Ignatius Vervium, a curator from Daotaris and a very powerful member of the Adeptus Administratum. And he wants you to go and capture 3 psykers who are all on the planet of Castum 2, which is a night world currently embroiled in a civil war, or at least parts of the planet is. Of course, our agents had to get to the planet first, so they got to the Humble Pilgrim, a smuggler ship, and then they helped out the smugglers get some salvage from a wrecked Xeno ship, and picked up a souvenir along the way. And we are first going to, before we get into the narrative bit of shit, we are all going to do events and endeavors, which are the things that happen in between missions. Because obviously between the time you did your Xenos salvage mission and when you arrived to Damnadon, the hive city and capital of Castum 2, and you also had some time after landing. It takes you some time to find the orphanarium, where your contact, Kali Wool, the woman who runs the orphanarium, is there to help you out. You had time for the event table. That's something we do first, and that is a D100 table. Now, either I can roll it for you, or you can roll it yourself. But let's start with, and please introduce yourself, anything you want to plug, and your character. Just briefly, Noah, please tell us about Khurt.
Hey, I'm Noah, and I am playing Khurt Neksilp. He is a Astra Militarum scout, assassin, and all-around kind of sneaky guy. And he's here to kind of provide some much-needed firepower to our administrative team.
Yep. And do you want to roll for your event table, or do you want me to roll for you?
Why don't you go ahead and roll for me, Ross? I'll put my trust in your hands.
Look, one of the dice is going to be sharp edged, so a game science die that I bought at Gen Con years ago. So let's just guess what? You got the blessed number, a 69, right out of the gate. So let's see what that is. Bounty hunter. Word reaches you that a bounty hunter has been put out. A bounty has been put out on your head. Maybe from the Scrolljackers gag that you.
Hey, maybe.
Let's see here. So yeah, you have a bounty hunter on you. So, which is actually really good. It makes sense for your character in particular, given who you are spiritually inspired by.
Yes. I don't know what you mean. I'm an incredibly original character.
I'll just write it an event. Bounty hunter. Cool. Yeah, well, I'll work that in there. But yeah, I'll take the bounty hunter some time to catch up to you. So yeah, you're fine. It's fine. Just another day for you. Next up, why don't we have V? Please tell us a little bit. Remind us about Rabbit. And yeah.
Absolutely. Rabbit's pretty rad. I think she's great. She's voidborn Astra Militarum as well, but she definitely she knows how to use a gun because she has to be an Astra Militarum, but it is definitely not a thing that she likes to do. She's much happier with a pen than a sword. You know what they say about pens and swords.
You kill someone with a pen. Like John
yes,
Wick. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going for, and definitely not anything else. But yes, I am V. You can find me on the internet at V is for Vampire because my name is V, and I like vampires.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, we all love vampires here. They're neat. So, do you want to roll for your event table? Or do you want me to roll for you?
I mean, I've already seen the havoc that you have wrought rolling, so I'm going to take it into my own hands so I can only be mad at myself when it goes poorly.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 41.
41. Almost the answer to everything.
Yeah.
Crackdown. Let's see here. Events table. Local authorities have declared a lockdown. Let's see here. Vigilantes. I don't know who those are. Or the Vanguard. Oh, Vigilites. Okay. The party has disadvantage on all tests to undertake illicit activity or endeavors during this downtime. So it doesn't affect the actual play, but like, yeah.
That's good. We shouldn't be doing illicit activities anyway. We are here on a mission. We must stick to the mission. This is plain and simple. That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, cool. Next up, we will have Kara.
Well, that's terrible, alarming. My name is Kara. I'm playing Lim. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you will still not find me on Elon Musk's Twitter. Forever permabanned. Note hashtag no regrets. No hashtags for those banned. If you would like to find me, you can find me over at the Fundamentals, is a podcast I run with the beautiful Thaddeus and the lovely Jeremiah. Don't know if they're beautiful or not. I don't look very often. Is a podcast about where we talk about movies, and I also was on a Let's Play over at Dead Channels. I ran God's Teeth as well as a few other things. God's Teeth is recently out. Plug for a friend. It is super cool. Mm-hmm. Strongly advise playing it. But yeah, if you like my dulcet tones, there are more of them.
Yeah, Delta Green Dead Channels is on patreon.com. And yeah, run by Caleb. Yeah, there's apparently your character is quite memorable in the God's Teeth playtest campaign. So yeah. So yeah, do you want me to roll for the event, or do you want to roll yourself?
I want to roll and see what happens. Are we all ready?
Sure. Yeah.
50.
50 is favors repaid. Hey, something good. Someone from your past takes the opportunity to return a significant favor. The precise nature of this service should depend on your previous missions and the NPCs that you've assisted during your mission or previous life. The NPC in question clearly wants to make good and is willing to help you in a future endeavor or mission. So with that, favors repaid, that is probably going to be someone you help them deal with a psyker, because that's kind of what you do. Not necessarily, though. So you can think about it. If you don't have an idea, we can sort of figure it out together. But yeah, that's something to put in your pocket and just call out whenever you need to. It doesn't even have to be this session. Well, probably it'd be better if it was this session because, otherwise we'll probably forget. So, yeah. By default, I could say it was someone on the smuggling ship. They found some artifact that had psyker powers in it, embedded in it, and you locked it down. Or one of the crew turned psyker mutant during the transition from the warp because, those Geller fields, they aren't perfect. And so, yeah, that would be the easiest way is you help them deal some chaos warp shit on the trip to Castum too. So. But if you want to be something from your further past, that's fine too. So just think about how you want to do that. Yeah.
I have an idea, but should I just hold on to it and digest it or share with the class?
If it's relevant to downtime.
Nah.
Yeah. So just remind me whenever we get to that. And then finally, Thad.
Sorry, I was distracted by something Noah posted somewhere else. Wow. Anyway. Hi, it's Thad. You know me. I'm Thad. I do Thad things in various places, mostly here. You can find me on Blue Sky. I think I still have a Twitter, but I don't check it. I don't know. Don't look for me. But anyway, I am playing the Harrow, who is a sanctioned psyker, former weird vigilante, voidborn, caught and mostly domesticated in service of the Emperor. Hooray. Mm-hmm. And now I do weird psychic bullshit in the service of justice or something. And I loom and say obnoxious, overly cryptic things in the background.
Okay.
That is largely what I do. And I will let Ross's semi-sharp edged dice.
Yeah, the other one's a standard die. I don't know where the other so I had to place it. It's only half sharp. Yeah.
Only half is random.
Yeah, 86. You're getting 86th. Oh, here we go. Victory celebration. A great celebration takes place. Perhaps it marks the day St. Macarius' forces liberated this world and returned it to the Emperor's embrace. Perhaps an ancient local celebration whose origins are lost to time. Regardless, it offers a momentary respite from the endless toil and misery of life in the Imperium. Characters who choose to take part in the celebration you feel rested and rejuvenated, may ignore the next fatigued condition they acquire. So, yeah, I would say that sounds like that would take up your endeavor. So, yeah, you could party if you want. All right. So, even though there's a crackdown, there's also a party. Such paradoxes are common in the Imperium.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels kind of, just like the Olympics.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Party and crackdown.
It could also depend on like where we're talking about, because maybe the victory celebration is in the wake of the successful like pirate mission on the ship, and then the crackdown is on the planet or something like that.
Well, probably the crackdown would be more related to
logic.
the smuggling ship coming in and like them picking up a whiff of the Xenos salvage that they brought in, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And the victory celebration is maybe one of the, who knows? Maybe one of the knights from sent off to war somewhere else in the galaxy reports back that they kick some ass. They're like, "Hey, our boys did well. We'll never see them again, but yay, they won at a battle on a planet we never heard of before. Cool. They killed a lot of orcs." And so they made it back. Well, the reports are kind of unclear. We don't know. Don't worry about it. Anyways, they did well. So now we get to do endeavors. Now, endeavors there are some group endeavors you can do, which require all of you, obviously. Now, there's not as many of them. There's Campaign of Whispers, which is your patron would gain influence with a chosen faction. We haven't really gone into influence and factions yet too much because I don't want to like throw in all the rules at first. So we're kind of going to ease our way into that. Combat training, if you do that, then you basically get +1 superiority in your next fight in any one combat encounter. And bolster defenses, you don't quite have a base of operations yet, so that doesn't really make sense. And that's it. But then there's so many individual endeavors, so it probably makes more sense for all of you to do individual endeavors, unless you all want to combat train. That's the only one that really makes sense for your group. You do, you're not really we got.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe like as things develop, but I mean, ideally, we aren't going to be fighting as much.
Yeah, technically, you don't have to. I designed this campaign so it's not just fighting. Like, violence comes up, but like, you guys ambushed the other gang and ran away. That's all you had to do. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of individual endeavors. Did anybody look at, like, let's see, Rabbit? Do you know what endeavor you want to do?
So I don't have any injuries, so that's kind of off the table. And I think there's not, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like for all the same reasons that we don't have like a reason to like campaign of like there's like Campaign of Whispers, right? Which is like
that's a group thing.
Like that. Well, yeah, that's a group, but like we don't have like a ton of like influence, or we haven't introduced that element, or like, so like consolidate influence, for example, was one, but I was just like, I don't really have, a faction that I'm trying to like improve my influence with so far, because so I'm kind of at a little bit of like I'm not 100% sure.
So yeah, you could do training rights. That's pretty obvious. You could also try and make some money, scout the surroundings. I mean, it's a big hive city, 50 million people live there or something like that. It's huge. Getting familiar with the local area might be useful. You could speculate and try and earn some extra dollars.
Sorry.
Worship. Yeah.
So because I'd been thinking about scouting surroundings, but I may just be misremembering because it's been a hot second since we played, but I thought we were still on, like we were still traveling.
I'm sort of like abbreviating the rest of your trip and landing in Damnadon and just getting your bearings. It's going to be a couple days to get through customs, to be allowed into the city proper, find a place, and then you got to find the orphanarium, which is these hive cities are absolutely massive. They are they are huge sprawling things with spires like dozens of kilometers tall, and like tens of millions of people live in there. Maybe hundreds of millions. I'm going to say this one has about 50 million people in it. So it's bigger than any city on Earth. And it's built up on itself. Just level after level after level. Think of like Dread, the mega city, that kind of thing. Like, it's big. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys, like, you're at a little hab block, in a rented room, and you can make your plans about what you want to do. But yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I
hand
wasn't.
waving all that. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like red markets where it was like, cool, okay, we did our first leg, we had our thing, and now we're doing our second leg, and there's going to be another thing that happens. No, that's totally fine. So then, yes, I think I'd be pretty good at scouting surroundings. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
All right. And so yeah, you scout Damnadon. And you start walking around, talking to people, getting some noodles, getting some corpse starch kebabs, and they're made from corpses. They're good. Got all that starch in. And yeah, so you gain advantage on intelligence, lore, and navigation checks to answer questions about navigating through this place. So yeah, you don't have to roll anything. You just got that advantage for the session.
Cool.
So yeah, let's see here. Khurt, do you know what you want to do?
I think I am going to do what is most appropriate and scout surroundings.
All right, yeah. Like I said, it makes sense for you too. Yeah, so you also gain advantage on lore and navigation as you're wandering the city, taking in the sights, and also figuring out who's in power and who's not. So yeah, very good. Let's see here. The Harrow.
I think I'm going to go with training rights.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out what skill I want to do that with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, think about it and get back to me when you figure it out. And then finally, let's see here. Lim.
I think
So it would be without a bonus. So it would be whatever your skill is in it.
my lore is actually pretty weak, I think.
So yeah, it would be. That's why it's challenging. They know that. Yeah, devout worship, is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at devout worship.
Yeah, that makes sense for your background. Yeah, you can risk it.
I'm
That
gonna
extra.
try with a devout worship and see what happens.
Sure.
Ginger, what? I'm sorry, I have a fat cat yelling at me. A 54 over 34, I think.
Okay. So yeah,
Womp.
you try to pray and try and gain solace in your faith, but like, yeah, you help some Xeno smugglers smuggle some Xenos tech into the city. That's a little that's a little bit of heresy. It's not. It's kind of troubling. It's for the greater good ultimately. You're sure. Where have you heard that phrase before? Yeah. Oh no, have you been corrupted by the Tau? So yeah, you failed that check. So yeah, that's an events and endeavors, and we'll do that at the beginning of each session.
Sorry, I know what one I'm going to train, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with dexterity. Oh, wait. No, I have to have at least one advance. Never mind. I'm going to go with awareness.
Okay. Yeah.
So make a
You'll be training that on the ship, Just
gain. Okay. So it basically gives me, if I succeed at this, it gives me an advantage at that I can use once this session.
Mm-hmm.
And 21. Hey, I succeed.
All right. You were very aware.
I have one bonus advantage to use. How does advantage work in this again? I have forgotten.
I believe it lets you roll twice and pick the better of the two.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was roll twice or if it was like flip one.
Oh no, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, I might be. If you advance, you can
Wasn't it like-
choose to reverse the tens and ones. Yeah,
Okay,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah, it's flipping. Yeah.
Okay.
All these games have similar game mechanics, and we use similar terms, but they're just different enough. Like,
Mhm.
yep. Cool. All right.
So fun.
So yeah, all of you have landed. The humble pilgrim had to land, and actually, no, it stayed in orbit. And you took shuttles down to the surface to Damnadon's ports, and then you had to blend in with the crew and pass through the administratum port officials. You watched as they go through this very elaborate, doing some paperwork and doing some bribery, and it's all done in a very specific way. These are people, this is a well-honed operation that's been going on a while. But yeah, this is a absolutely massive facility, just the port, and so it takes you some time to get through there. Somewhere one pallet of Xenos scrap metal is detected, and that launches a crackdown. And you get a Vox message, Khurt, saying that someone's after you. You think it seems like the Scroll Jackers identified you, and they're really angry about all their dudes getting thrown off the bridge and whatnot. And But yeah, you have enough resources. You're given access to a hab block deep in the heart of this hive city through your patron, which are basically 4 rooms, security doors, and little beds. You each have your own room. But yeah, you I assume all of you want to make contact with Kali Wool, the orphanarium administrator. She is the one who you got the contact from. Otherwise, you do know the names of these people, and you can try your own way to do that. But that would be, let's see here, random person. Anyways, so yeah, we'll just assume you all eventually find the orphanarium, thanks to your extensive scouting. It is you're in the middle of the hive city, so there's no sky. It's just indoors, like everything is. It is a large network of tunnels, leads up into an open area that used to be a factory. After the factory broke down, it was turned into a large boarding house for, orphan children. And some time ago, someone decided someone should give these kids some kind of education. And right now, Kali is an old woman who is running it. You see kids running about. There's a couple other frazzled-looking adults looking after them, yelling at them. Yeah, well, you can just sort of Kali. Did any of you contact Kali? Did you vox ahead of time to let her know, or are you just gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, where's Kali?"
Not really a call ahead type of person.
All right, yeah. So the 4 of you are walking in. You're drawing some looks from the people tending to the kids. The kids don't seem to mind. Yeah, of course, all of them sort of give Lim the stink eye as Lim passes by, and. Yeah, the kids start whispering and pointing at her, but you were ask around and quickly find Kali lets you into an office. There's stacks of paper, and who's talking for the group? She kind of looks at you. I was told, my friend, the captain, said I should be expecting someone to ask some questions, and I owe her quite a bit, so I'm happy to help. How is the humble pilgrim doing these days?
It travels in space.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
It's holding together pretty well for now, at least.
that's good. I'm glad she made another successful run. I know her business is quite dangerous. Of course, many of the kids who come through this orphanarium wind up as crew on her ship. It's an advantageous position for everyone. They have meaning, they have a job, and they don't get reprocessed into corpse starch. So so what can I do for you?
Well, we are looking for some people.
Okay. Well, she nods and pushes a button on her desk, and a cogitator comes out of the wall from a concealed panel. I am. The great thing about kids is if you make something into a game, they'll do it. They'll love you for asking you to do it. So I Spy with My Little Eye is a very fun game for the children. And also Hide and Go Seek into certain database facilities is also quite rewarding. So if are you going to give her the data slate with the biometrics of your 3 targets?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll see why not.
Yeah. She plugs it in, and you're looking for 3 people. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is this people you want to bring? Is this a play? Well, I don't want to be intrusive and ask too many questions, obviously, about what your business with these people is. But it seems to me that you're not there to that you're going to want to take them with you.
Need them alive, yes.
Okay. Well, have you these 3 people? I can find them, but she's running the database. They're not together. I can tell you that much. They all went in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing you're not all splitting up to bring them back all at the same time.
Would seem imprudent considering circumstances.
Yeah, with the war raging all across this planet aside from this city. So you're going to need a place to put them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I, as a favor, will give you this information because I said I would. but I can offer my services. That this orphanarium has a basement that is used to be a jail, coincidentally enough. A jail for, I don't know who was running this jail, but it's a very well-equipped jail. And they even have some servitors in here that I still have access to that are pretty obedient. They're servitors, and I can stash and keep a hold of them, keep them fed and alive as long as you need. But that's not part of the favor. I would need something in return.
Understandable.
And it's something I feel like you could help with, because it's really just a matter of getting some paperwork done for the orphanarium. But first, before we get to that, let me tell you. So you have 3 targets, and let's see here: Gideon Durid, Nova Charok, and Shorit Gunfels. Gideon is in the ag sector, the agricultural sector, farmland. And it looks like he is working under the House Paxo as, well, it's classified. I'm not sure exactly what. Is some sort of security specialist. I'm not sure what he's doing. But the farmland is an interesting place. Very wide open fields, lots of land. And there's a lot of, what I've heard is that most of the action there are tank duels, because a lot of the upstart, this is a knight world, of course, and all the noble houses, they all love the knights, the giant war machines with the legs and the shooting. Well, the noble sons who aren't good enough to be, or who weren't smart enough to be born first, don't get to pilot the knights. But if they do really well and the firstborn gets killed in battle, they can take over. And so they pilot tanks as a way to buff out the resume. So there's a lot of tank duels and tank fighting, a lot of young nobles piloting tank squadrons in order to prove their skills in hopes of being worthy of piloting a knight. So not much. So it's not like huge masses of infantry. It's actually quite sparse out there, but there are a lot of tanks, and it's quite far away from here. And let's see here. Nova is in the industrial factory center, which is not too far from here, but they're in the middle of a siege. Nova apparently signed on with House Vandergaard and some kind of advisor. And then Shorit did not sign up for either side, but she's up in the mountains and heading to let's see, main factions. What should we do? Vehicle location names. Here we go. She is in a mining town called Kassan. And Kassan, it's an independent mining town, and but the two sides are fighting near the mountains, and there's a lot of artillery going on there, because it's very hard to fight in mountainous regions. I don't know how much you know about war, but there's a lot of shelling. But there's a lot of prospectors and independent people there, because there's a lot of adamantium and other valuable resources. And it's one of the few ways a low-born person can get some kind of independence and stability is by making it rich. But yeah, it's quite chaotic there. So I'm not sure what she's doing up there, but she is in the mountains. So you have 3 very different locations. But if you can do me just a little favor, I would be happy to protect these important people while you're out retrieving the others. No questions asked. So if that sounds agreeable, I could tell you what this little bureaucratic snafu is all about.
May we examine the facilities that would be housing our guests beforehand?
Of course, come this way. So she pushes the button, the cogitator, the computer slides back into the wall. She hands you back your data slate, and she has you follow her into the basement, where there is a shrine to a dead saint that is very crudely made. She pulls the saint's arm, and the wall pops off, showing a spiral staircase leading down. Very, kind of rusted, the stair, but you follow her down this, and after, it's a long staircase, and it opens up into this prison. The lights flicker on. There's some ancient looking servitors. What little bit of their flesh is very gray and wrinkled, but they pop to life. There are cells. There are scratch marks and claw marks. Anybody with an appropriate lore skill can try and analyze the jail. Figure something out.
I will try lore, although I will probably fail. But my main concern is whether or not it would be safe to house people of whatever. Like, we don't know anything about their psychic abilities. We just know that they have some, right?
Yes.
That's kind of my main concern, is whether it would be safe to keep them here, since, psykers. Hey, 13 out of 28. I succeed despite being a dipshit.
Which lore? Or is lore just that sounds good?
I just have lore general. Yeah,
okay,
I don't have a specialization.
Okay, that still succeeds. So you look around, and this is actually an extremely high-end prison that has been abandoned for a long, long time. So, but the servitors still work. The servitors are going to be mindless. They're going to be immune to psychic, mind control stuff. I mean, they can still be ripped apart, by gross physical attacks or warp-based attacks, obviously, but you're not going to be able to hypnotize the servitor. The main thing is you find that they have high-grade restraints that still quite work. You find a medical bay with ancient piles of supplies of sedatives and tranquilizers. And there's actually some inquisitorial type looking shit here, restraints and bindings. And if you want to, you don't know that much about this stuff, but you could probably, this is the main thing is you put them in here, have the servitors feed them once a day and have them tranquilized twice a day. And with you probably be able to do it. It might be a little dicey. Yeah. So, but
Lim is looking around at this, claw-marked ancient prison. For a moment, says, "This is a nice place. How come no one lives here?" As a child of the deepest part of the Underhive, this is one of the cleanest, nicest spaces she has ever seen in her life.
It is merely waiting for those who belong here.
Well, occasionally when there was gang fighting here about 20 years ago that got really bad, we had to come down here for shelter. Some of the kids complained of seeing things in the dark, of hearing voices, trying to get them to go into the air ducts, and we had to keep them away. So it's got to, none of the kids now, of course, know about this place. But, we've theories that there's perhaps the Inquisition once used this as a safe house, and something happened and they abandoned it. But it seems to be dormant, so we try not to wake it up with too many people here. So,
It won't wake up.
No, that's good to know. I'm glad you're an expert in these things.
They never wake up when I'm here.
She keeps things quiet. I am turning to Khurt and Rabbit. As far as I can see, this place will be sufficient for our purposes if we can agree to deal with our new friends' trade.
I feel like it's the best option that we have, considering otherwise we had no option.
Indeed.
So,
this will have to do.
Excellent. Well, come back up with me. I don't like spending too long in here. And you go back up the stairs, and once you're in the normal basement, she smiles at you. The big problem is that we need this orphanarium needs its license renewed with vocational training certification, because we do teach the kids how to, they're very small and they have very nimble fingers. They're very good at fixing, machines and getting in those pipes, and cleaning out the filters and whatnot. So I've tried, but I have to spend so many hours just getting enough food for the kids and going around to merchants to get donations, because they realize that paying me to house and feed the children means they're off the street, not stealing from their stalls and, joining gangs, thus making the gang warfare 20 years ago really bad. So it's a lot of work, and I just don't have this expertise. But you all look so educated, and she kind of turns to you, Rabbit.
Yeah, everyone's slowly turning toward Rabbit.
Yeah, no one's looking at Lim, who is definitely not literate.
I just,
No,
I could tell. Let me guess. Military intelligence or analysis.
is it that obvious?
There's something about your bearing and also your lack of scars.
Yes, quite. And I will glance over at Khurt and take note, because I haven't actually thought about that ever. But no, that is a super, super valid point.
So if she hands you a small pile of paperwork and gives you direction to the local administratum office. If you could just get that taken care of for me, I would be ever so helpful. And I'd be eternally in your debt. And of course, I would be keen to turn all my little eyes and ears to whatever you needed.
I reach back into my pack and pull out the little wrapped book that I have that holds my autoquill and everything else. I open it up, I place papers inside, and then wrap it and tie it back up, putting it back in my pack. Yes, we will tend to this post haste.
Great, yeah. So, but she gives you the data slate with the information on their, basically all three of the people came here and due to their biometrics had to be registered when they left the city. And so you know where they went and who they signed up with, if they signed up with somebody. And so you now have a home base. You can stash the people at between missions. But so aside from dealing with the bureaucracy thing, if you want, one of you wants to go off and start figuring out I don't know, logistics of how to get there. All you can get a map of this planet and where these places are, but getting from Damnadon to any of them. And also talk about amongst yourselves about which one you want to go to first. You could also research any of those three areas more to try and figure out more about what's going on. So you have a lot of options now. You don't have to just Rabbit can do that, and the rest of you can go off and do other things for a bit. Yeah, the Harrow. What is your first inclination of what to do next?
Well, I feel like it's hard to choose a direction to go when we don't know a lot about, we know what sides a couple of these people have chosen, but what the sort of active danger level of these places are at the moment is maybe something to weigh before charging in. So there's a way to investigate, I don't know, intelligence as to what's how hot various zones are in terms of current combat and so forth.
Yeah, you could roll any number of skills to get more information. You could also think about transportation, because you're not wanting to go on foot to any of those places. And there's multiple types of vehicles and things out there available for you, and multiple you could think about cover identities. Do you want to go as civilians, as get identity fabrications to pose as members of one side or the other? Any number of things. So what skill do you want to roll, and what question do you want to answer? Well, you can think about that and let me know. So Khurt, basically same question.
I have a specialization in navigation, and I have my advantage for the mission. So I think I would like to kind of get a lay of the land for the industrial sector, because I feel like that's going to be the most
that's the closest
interwoven kind of sector, because everything else sounds like it's probably going to be a bit more, at least a little bit more open.
That's definitely true. The farmland is the agriculture sector is going to be very open. The mountains, there's still going to be all right, roll navigation. Meanwhile, Rabbit, you can roll probably logic or lore for your bureaucracy.
Cool. They're both the same number, so it makes it easy.
So I got a 31 out of 39.
Okay. Well, you don't need that.
Well, let's just say if I flip it, that would give me a higher success level, right?
I believe so, yeah. I don't think it's going to make it. At this point, it's not like an opposed check. You could say
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
All right, so here's what you figure out. There are three modes of transportation jump out at you after, spending a couple hours looking at logistic places and overhearing gossip. There are lots of cargo trucks, actually, that drive in and out of the city delivering supplies to both sides of the war. And, some of these trucks are operated by the houses, right? But some of them are independent. There are clans of drivers, and they are always recruiting for people. It looks like they're pretty open. So you could hop on a truck. And if any of you can drive at all, you could probably get a truck pretty easily. And so that's pretty easy. So the other thing is there's cargo planes for high-end cargo, and people. And that is a little more locked down. That would require some finesse to get in, because they actually have security, because they're, worried about assassins and bombers and shit like that. And air pirates. So, and then especially to the factory, there are trains. There are lots of trains, and they're very, very long. And there's a whole thing of people jumping on trains. There's scavengers that go out to the war zone, scavenge shit, bring it back to the city to sell on the black market, and go back out. And that one, you can tell that there's a lot of also gangers hired as security to keep those people off the trains. So, and also the train people themselves. So that would be, so they each have their sort of advantages and disadvantages. So those three methods wouldn't require you to get uniforms and pose for one of the houses. So those would be pretty easy to do, but each has their advantages and disadvantages.
So this is Noah talking to my fellow players. Who doesn't love an action scene on a train? I'm just saying.
Trains are the best.
Look, train hopping is a noble pursuit.
Exactly.
If we get extremely lucky, there could be a very disconcerting murder with a very surprising answer.
Yeah.
Well,
am I making an Agatha Christie joke? I am.
Yes.
I'm still hopeful. Yes.
Look, you're not going to be in. You're not going to. This is not an Agatha Christie kind of.
No, this is going to be more of an Emperor of the North. Setup.
Yeah, it is.
Instead of it being all of the suspects, it was a bunch of demons.
Hey, wouldn't it be extremely funny if Khurt Neksilp ended up having to deal with a number one, but from a completely different context?
Yeah. So just so you know, there is a movie I'm kind of obsessed with called Emperor of the North.
Kara, I got to show it to you later.
It's a 1970s movie about hobos hopping trains, and Ernest Borgnine is the train conductor who just murders anyone he finds on the train illegally. He just beats them to death with a hammer and laughs as they go under the tracks. It's a wild ass movie, and he just looks like a demon in that.
See, I want to say that I'd be surprised, or that I'm surprised by you liking this movie, but considering our recent exchange on Twitter about other movies that you find fascinating and exciting, I'm not surprised at all.
No,
I'm
Ross,
definitely
what did
not.
you do?
I was like, I saw Neil Breen's new movie, and it was great. And he was like,
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't know why I asked.
Yeah. You had to have known. You had to have known.
Honestly, I wasn't sure where this was going to go, and my first probably irrational fear was, I'm like, is it vaporwave? Is it somehow a vaporwave film? Because that doesn't.
You know what?
Seem...
It kind of is in
okay.
a base
you could
level
write
ethos.
Yeah.
You could write a really annoying media analysis paper arguing something like that. Yeah.
No, especially his newest one, because it's all green screen. It's an amazing thing, and I'm definitely leaving this in the game.
Table talk is an important part of the RPG experience. The listeners are here for.
Yeah,
the RPG or the RPPR?
Yeah, this is actual play. Yeah, it's actual play, not a radio drama. Yeah,
it's how we build our parasocial relationships with our real life friends. You, individual listener.
Yes, and we love you at RPPR. We're family. Now give us. Yeah, no, I'm not subtweeting other actual play.
Your family.
Yeah.
I hope not.
That's
My
not a
family
copyrighted
fucking
line, right?
sucks, guys. Come on. I don't need any more trauma.
Yeah.
So do we. Anyway, train hopping? I'm feeling train hopping.
Yes, so Rabbit, what'd you get on your lore or logic test?
So here's the thing. I think what happened was I've never had to file paperwork in a hive world before. because I rolled an 86.
Mhm.
And if I flip it, it's a 68, but my score is 64, so that doesn't help me at all, which means I don't think it goes
Actually, no,
quite
this
as well.
is you'd get a bonus on it because it's not challenging.
Yeah.
It's routine because this is just figuring out basic stuff. So I think that's routine is plus 20.
Yes, routine is plus 20.
Yeah, so you get plus 20. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Okay, well, then I would still have to flip it to make it
Well, you
work.
can spend a fate point to do that.
Yeah,
Now,
I think I'm gonna.
spinning
I
is
think
not
I'm gonna have
burning.
to.
You would get it back. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, and then yes.
All of our fate points refreshed, right?
Yes. Yeah. Unless you burned it, but that's like a life or death thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so you spend the fate point, confuses you for a bit, but you realize they're using a variation because every world is different, and you're like, oh, damn it. But here's what you figure out. The problem is the vocational training certification, which she needs for various bureaucratic reasons, but she can't get it just through paperwork. She needs a seal from a qualified tech priest. And unfortunately, the only one who is qualified right now, his name is Spinoza Alistair. And Spinoza, you realize, so you'd have gotten that for free, but with your success, you find out what happened to him. Spinoza is currently under investigation for tech heresy. He apparently soldered a circuit board without using the proper incense first. So it's not like grand tech heresy, but it's enough to merit a tech investigation. So he's in detention right now, which means it's like a work release thing where he's still working on things, but under armed guard. And you have to figure out where he is and get him to sign off on this paperwork. And if you can do that, you can save the orphan area. But if you don't, then they're going to come for it soon and, kick everyone out of there and not do anything else. It's not,
Knowing what I know, knowing what Rabbit knows, because V knows nothing, knowing what Rabbit knows, is this the kind of thing where he would have been taken to like a special like detention center to be watched, or would he be like under house arrest?
That you're not sure for. Normally, with normal people, they would be under, if they were rich, they'd be in house arrest. If they were not, they would be in a prison.
Just like real life. Okay, got it.
Yeah, just like real life, yeah. But he's a tech priest, and they have their own special rules. Mm-hmm. And tech priests are, they have very valuable skills and knowledge. So you suspect they said work release. So he's somewhere in the city working on something, but you don't know exactly where. So that would require more of an investigation to figure out where he is.
Okay.
So you need to find this guy, and he'll sign up for it. So. Yeah. So while those two are doing that, let's see here. Lim, do you know what you want to be doing? Because you're also going to try and recruit allies, get some more weapons or equipment, or research, figure out ways to. Yeah, there's any number of things you could be doing. Or researching the targets, the area. If you want to go to the factory, it's under siege. You could research that and find out more of what's going on there.
I actually think that'd be a good idea to go to the factory because I actually have a pretty good stealth score.
Well, you can't go to the factory. That's but you could research it right now. So, or you could spy on some people.
Game leader's choice. But I do actually have some pretty good. Hold on.
Okay.
I was halfway through my thought and then my brain dropped out on me. Perception.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, this may sound weird, but just to sit and watch, just to sit and watch and listen as people go by, as people talk, as people gossip, as people trade things. I am, even as unpleasant as my presence is, I am very good at sort of looking the right kind of vulnerable where I'm not worthy enough to steal from, but I look like I might bite if you try to kidnap me. So people are just bypassing me and leaving me alone, and I am listening to all the people walking around to try to do perception and just see what I learn.
Okay. So what kind of area are you doing? Is it one of the logistical areas, like the train yard, or is it going to be
I think maybe. Do I know what Rabbit knows yet? Have we met back at headquarters?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm not going to be too much.
Maybe just sort of like haunting, like someplace outside, like
Okay.
like an office, essentially trying to listen and figure out where the person we're supposed to find might be. Also, I do have a really important list of questions that I would like to have answered. What is a jail? What is agriculture? What is a tank? And what is a mountain?
Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, roll stealth or perception.
Stealth
You mean
and
awareness.
Yeah.
We're going for awareness.
Well, I mean, isn't that the perception skill?
Yes.
Yeah, awareness, yeah.
All right, so my awareness is 41. Come on, girls. My dice are girls. Oh, I got 16.
Okay. You are very stealthy. No one detects you. So, yeah. Go ahead and roll your awareness.
When you said your dice were girls, I immediately got the Shania Twain "Feel Like a Woman" like sting in my brain.
Yeah. That's an 87. Flip it is 78 is nothing. So
You made yourself, I'll say this is a routine check, so plus 20 to your score. Or to your skill. What's your skill at?
my skill in
I mean, that's pretty high. That's probably still going to fail, but I don't know.
my skill in awareness is 41. So
Yeah.
I'm on
So
trash.
you were undetected, but you can't really make out anything. There's a lot of, it's a big noisy hive city. There's industrial machinery, plasma coils crackling in the distance, lots of people just talking, the sound of metal creaking. Yeah, it's so you wander the city. You do hear I will give you this for free. You see someone trying to, it's like, hey, join the driver class. You look like you're a factory worker. Don't you want to see the road to get out of the city for once? It's like, we pay 5 times what the factory workers get. But there's a reason why. It's because you get attacked, right? We're like, well, yes, the gangers do like to, but we arm you. Aren't you tough enough to fight off a few pathetic gangers? I was like, I'm from a long line of cowards. I don't like being shot at. I serve the Imperium by being very humble and meek and making diodes for that machine that we don't know what it does. So so you find out the reason why the drivers are always open for new members is because they frequently get attacked by people trying to steal the contents of those trucks. So let's see here. The Harrow, what about you?
I think actually now that I feel like the tech priest line is a good one to try and follow up on.
Mm-hmm.
However, I was thinking the Harrow might see about what it would take to get the tech priest to sign our stuff. But Harrow's not really a friendly rapport person.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do have a pretty decent presence score. So I was thinking that the Harrow was just going to sort of present themselves to whoever is in charge of the tech priest and be like, we are here on business of imperial justice.
Well, you don't know where the priest is first. You need to find.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
The
rabbit tried to figure that out, but
gotcha.
Was found out that the tech priest was in detention, but tech priests have different rules than regular people. So you got to find the tech priest first. So,
who can I bully to find that information? Is I suppose.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. You could either talk to one of the many guards. There's enforcers that wander the streets, and they would probably know where an unusual person like that would be being detained. Or prison official. You'd have to. So there's bureaucrats or guards. Either one. Bureaucrat, you'd have to stalk them and approach them when they're alone, because obviously when they're at work, they're surrounded by lots of people. You can't really lean on them. The guards are patrol all around, but they're tough guys.
No,
right?
I mean bureaucrats, obviously.
Give me a stealth check to tail one.
I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to cloud the minds of all who surround, including the eyes of cameras, and simply follow them.
All right,
using my psychic fucking powers.
Yeah, well, you would use your psychic powers.
Yes, I would. I roll a 76, which is a success, because power I literally can't fail at unless I roll a critical failure.
Damn. All right. Yeah. So the priest or the bureaucrat is this, meek looking person who's carrying, off their shift, You follow them a bit. They get some, cup of corpse starch noodles from a stall, and then head to their hab block. And do you want to wait until they go inside their place, or do you want to
Yeah, I'm just following them inside.
All right, you follow them inside. Yeah, until you do something, they're not going to know you're there. You're just alone in this fucking dystopia.
As soon as we're alone, I'm going to call to them "Lo, I am here on the business of imperial justice, and I require bureaucratic information of you."
Yeah, roll. Let's see, what is that?
Presence was what I was going to go.
Yeah. That definitely you definitely have a
30 out of 45.
Yeah, that succeeds. I would have given you a +10 because of Anyway, so you are very intimidated. They drop their noodles. It's like
I hold up the Harrow holds up their hand and just I am here.
I swear I'm loyal. I'm not. Please, Inquisition, don't.
I am not of the Inquisition.
Oh.
You may pick up your food before it gets cold. I merely seek information on a person necessary to a cause of imperial justice, and you have been chosen to provide that information. We seek a particular tech priest. I rattle off whoever they are.
Spinoza Alistair? Yes. Tragic case. Yes. They soldered a circuit board, but they didn't use the proper incense before soldering it, which is
and they are currently paying for their crime, as is just.
That's the thing. He hasn't been convicted yet. The judge for the trial is supposed to come in on one of the Adeptus ships for the trial, and unfortunately, the ship is 8 years late. I think it's been lost to the warp, and so we can't execute him, can't turn him into a servitor, can't do anything until he's been actually convicted because he's a tech priest. So we have him in. He rattles off Sector 7G. There's a very large machine. Even Spinoza doesn't know what the machine does, but it has a light. It blinks, and we're pretty sure we want it to keep blinking. And so he administers to the machine under armed guard. There's a rotating crew. It's considered very cushy duty for the guards there, the enforcers. They're quite pleased to be guarded because he's very compliant. He believes he was doing the right thing. I think he was just out of the right instance, and he thought a substitute would be fine. But I'm not. It's the priesthood of Mars.
Such simple injustices must still be dealt with.
Oh.
You for your information.
Okay.
Enjoy your noodles.
Well, the guards they're guarding him. Because we do have scavengers down there, and they'll shoot you if you come close, unless you. I told you what I know. Please, can I get back to my corpse starch noodles? Okay. No, it's the other button. I had to fix it. It broke.
The Harrow, turns and leaves.
Yeah. No, you have to hit that button to open the door. It's not. I know it's not the standard button. They had to fix it. So you've gotten the location of where Spinoza is being detained. He's in Sector 7G. It's a lower sector. Scavengers run about. It's not the bottom. It's not the underhive. So it's not full-on gang warfare, but it's not. It's sort of the buffer zone between the underhive, which is the hell on earth, gang warfare 24/7, and then the normal hive, and then there's the spire, which is where the rich live. So, but yeah, it's not great, and so Spinoza's kept there working on a machine that nobody knows what it does, and you need to get him to sign this paperwork. But the problem is there are armed guards protecting him and also keeping him away from outsiders. So that's sort of your obstacle. So all of you meet back up having, Lim, what kind of meal did you find in the food stalls and night markets of the city that was tasty or looked interesting enough for you to buy and have as a meal?
I am definitely eating the what do you call them, corpse noodles?
Starch noodles.
Corpse starch noodles. I mean, if you think about it, isn't most of what we eat one form of corpse or another?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Why be precious about it?
Exactly. Classics, the staple of the city. Rabbit, what are you having for your meal?
I'm trying to find vegetables that aren't fungi.
Okay, yeah, they actually have them. They have like
Great.
some tubers. They're like potato or yam kind of looking vegetables from the
Love a good
agricultural.
tuber.
Yeah. They're from the agricultural sector. They have them stew or fried.
Oh man, I think a stew is a little heavy for now, so I think we're just gonna go with some lightly fried tubers.
Yeah, you get a basket of them. They have a servitor in the back that's just been, maintaining the deep fat fryer for centuries now, as far as anyone has told. So, Frybot, a fry servitor. Yeah, the Harrow. What are you eating?
I've acquired some sort of roasted arthropod on a stick.
Tasty. Yeah. They grow outside the walls of the city, right outside in the pits. There are whole tribes of hunters that bring them in as a tasty treat. Heavily seasoned, very, very spicy. And Khurt, you got something munching on?
Yeah, I'm going with a Asher Militarum supplied ration.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Is
get
it
this out
hero
into
food? Yeah.
It's hero food, baby.
Yeah. Hell
Let's
yeah.
get this out into a tray.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So all of you are together back in. Now you can stay in the hab block that you got, or you could actually. They have spare rooms at the orphanarium that you could set up there if you'd rather stay there. But either way, you know what you want to do. You need to get to Spinoza. You know where he is, but he's got pretty far down, and he's got armed guards that he does not control. So does anybody have a plan that they want to do or talk about it?
We could just walk in and ask. Didn't they say that the children are in the pipes? We could just
They
go in the
may
pipes?
be aware of comings and goings that are not well known, although those would most likely be comings and goings that could only fit children.
Yeah, you could ask the
those who are
kids.
very small.
Yeah.
I mean, just to point out, Lim is very, very small, partially due to natural build, but also partially due to a lifetime of, deprivation and starvation. I am an American, so I cannot use the worldwide international system. So she's 5'1", which isn't like super small, but it is pretty petite. So if the children can fit in it, there's a good chance that she can too.
Yeah.
Fear of filth is not an instinct she has.
I would say the people who scouted the city as their endeavor, they know how to get to Sector 7G. There are elevators and stairs leading down there. They're like it's not a super popular sector, but there's still traffic, right? So you can get there without having to use the pipes. Now, of course, you could ask the kids to see if they know a secret way to get closer to Spinoza, because they may have scouted that area out themselves. They may have seen it before, and they could tell you. You could talk to the kids that ask if they have any intel. They're not going to talk to Lim, though. That's for sure. They do not like you, Lim. They're not shy about expressing that.
It reminds me of my childhood.
Rabbit, do you have any thoughts on this?
Utilizing the children is a smart idea, if only for information. I would not want to put them in danger, of course, any more than they already exist in, I suppose.
They're very replaceable.
Yeah, orphanarium's full of them.
Sorry, I'm just like, well, yeah, nobody would miss them if they're gone, but like, Rabbit would never. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, the Emperor.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Rabbit's divination is the blood of martyrs is the seed of the Imperium. So actually, you just fucking reminded me of that.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go, baby. Yeah.
Literally, let's fucking go with the baby. Toddle onward, Christian soldier.
Yeah.
Just hurl children at these guards until...
Yep.
So that actually reminds me, sorry to derail this real quick. Did everybody do a divination?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I don't think I can.
I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah. What page is that on?
Do we want to share our divinations real quick?
Yeah, please do.
You already heard mine.
So mine, I think, is very appropriate. I actually really like it. Success is commemorated. Failure merely remembered.
Nice. Mine is... A mind without purpose will wander in dark places.
This is why V keeps herself busy all the time. If I don't, the bad thoughts will catch up.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah. So you can.
Yes, I am not above conscripting the children to do our dirty
All
work
right, so you
for us.
head to the orphanarium and.
Oh, actually, hold on
yeah.
a second.
Okay.
Kara, I don't think there's anything that says your character doesn't get a divination. If you want a random roll for one, the table's on page 89.
Excellent.
Yeah.
89.
Yeah, as far as I say, it's not a thing to do with like psychic divination, which is a different thing that does exist in the book, but this is just a part of the end of character creation.
Oh yeah, this is the if you die and it reflects the divination, you get a bonus.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, I don't know why I misread that. My apologies. All right, let's see.
This is a thing in Warhammer Fantasy too.
Yeah, that's right.
Called your dooming, which in lore, when you are 10 years old, you're taken before a death priest, basically, and they read your future and they give you like a quote.
Okay, Kara, what was that? What was that laugh? What do you got?
Hatred is the Emperor's greatest gift to humanity.
Mm.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
This is a fucked up group. Like, I mean, I'm sure they're all kind of fucked up in their own ways, but this is great.
There's a little box at the bottom left corner of the first page of your character sheet. You can jot that down in.
Yeah. Well, I also think, especially given what happened, like when we were fighting the whatchamacallit, I think that seed of hatred burns bright in her heart.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, or the Chaos Cult. Yeah. So you all head to the orphanarium, and I'll say they rabbit. You seem more interesting to the kids. You know, you find out quickly that Kali pointed you out and told, look, even a great strategist of the Astra Militarum came here. She was looking for new recruits and prospecting for potential talent. Now behave, or she'll send you to the penal legions. So you were worked into their disciplinary routine pretty quickly. So the kids are actually pretty eager to show off to you. Like, hi, what's your name, sir, lieutenant, ma'am?
Rabbit.
Yeah, so, General Rabbit. Yeah, my name is Unlucky, and that's because my parents are dead, because they were bad, and let's see here. But you can call me Annis. No, Magda. Call me Magda. Yeah, that's my name. Yeah. Do you need any help with your next war, ma'am? Rabbit, sir?
Yes. And Rabbit, if anybody else like paying attention, Rabbit is very, very uncomfortable because children are not her strong suit. They're not as smart as she would like them to be because they're obviously children, and that bothers her to a very high degree. But she's trying to hide that and be, because obviously these are tools, we're going to use them as such. It's fine. They will be able to do their job. So she'll kind of like very awkwardly kneel down and try and like look welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
The smile's a little awkward, but like not off-putting, just a little like weird. To adults, it would be weird. Yes, actually, Magda. And I kind of like look at her size, and she's on the smaller side, I'm guessing. I mean, they're yeah. And I just think, I think you might actually be perfect for this job that I need done by somebody very, what's the word? Intelligent, quiet. I just I think you're perfect for the job.
What's the job?
And I'm gonna tell her that we're trying to find somebody. This is kind of the general area that we're looking, and just say, I know that Ms. Callie said that you guys are really good at knowing the place and finding your way around. And
I've seen Spinoza. Yeah, he's the funny man in the red robes with the extra arms.
Yes, he is. Do you know where he is? Like right now? Could you get to him right now?
Well, I used to be able to. Sometimes there's a pipe that the machine is really big, and it's got like different parts, and so the guards have to walk around it a lot. And there's a pipe right over it, and like I used to go there, and I could like spit on him, and he just thought it was condensation. It was very funny, but like there's some mutant that got through it, so they put an extra grate. They welded it in place, so I can't get there. But I know how to get there. I could show you, like, for bigger people, they could that weird one could probably fit in the pipe too. But like it's welded. You'd have to. Do you have melta charges or a cutter? Yeah. She knows. She's been the place before. There's a secret pipe she knows about that could get you past the guards. You would be over him. She says it's kind of a drop. She's never actually gone down to talk to him because she would have no way of getting back up. So basically, there's a pipe in the ceiling above the machine, and that pipe, will take you around the guards. But first, you have to get through a welded grate. There's a grate in the pipe now that you have to get past somehow. And then you'd have to drop down to talk to Spinoza, and then you have to climb back up. So if you had a rope, I guess you could tie it on and climb up and down. So yeah, but there's a grate in the way. But she could also just guide you all to, if you want to talk to the guards and try and reason or shoot your way through them or something like that. But she says it's like in a big open flat area where it used to be like a hangar or something. So like there's not a lot of cover besides this giant machine that's like, imagine like several like rows and rows of like machinery with like walkways between them. That's what this machine is, in the middle of a big open airplane hangar sized space. And then there's a pipe over this with like a 15-foot, 20-foot drop between the ceiling and the top of the machine. And the machine is like 2 stories high. So yeah. Does that explain it sort of spatially?
I think so.
So there's a way to sneak in, but you have to get through a grate. You have to cut through a grate or do something.
How deep is the grate in the pipe?
It's like basically like there's a long pipe you have to crawl through, and then in the middle of it there's a grate that blocks your path that they set up in the last year. So you would have to cut through it. There's no way around it that she knows of. There's lots of pipes, but she only knows this one path. It's easy to get lost. So
I'm just thinking about the logistics, because I have a las pistol that I would prefer not to cook myself in the pipe before the mission is complete.
Yeah, las pistol isn't going to be able to cut through the pipe easily. You need a specialized tool.
We need a las cutter.
Yeah. You could try and steal one or buy one. Yeah. That's pretty easy. That's if you want to use the pipe.
Do we think that infiltration is our order of the day? Do we want to attempt to parlay with the guards? I myself am not an especially gifted persuasive orator, except in a very narrow line of inquiry.
No, the only people that I'm good at talking to are bureaucrats who are as equally awkward at talking to other individuals as I am.
People will sometimes give me things to help to make me go away. It's useful in very specific contexts, but I'm not sure this is one of them.
Ross, really, really quick. So Magda said that Lim would be able to fit through the pipe, but the rest of us would not, or
well, so Lim's 5'1", right? Very slight build. If your character is about that size, that would be the higher limit of what's allowed. So I imagine Khurt would not. Yeah, probably not the Harrow. Maybe you did you roll up your character's height and weight?
I didn't, but give me like 2 seconds and I can. I'll tell you.
Yeah. So
the Harrow's. I mean, the Harrow's short from my perspective, a mere 6'2". But
think about the kind of pipe I'm picturing is, if you remember the movie Aliens, like the one that Bishop, Lance Henriksen's character, has to crawl.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Nice.
Yeah,
you gotta shoulder shimmy your way through the pipe.
Yeah, so a kid has a lot more space, but for even for Lim, it's
so if you are bigger than a Lance Henriksen, our official way of measuring people.
And that's
she's 6'1", so it's possibly it says it's 4'9" plus 2d10, and I rolled a 9 and a 5. So
there you go.
Yeah, she's a biggin. That's fine.
Good
That's
for her.
fine.
Yeah,
I know, right? I was actually thinking about this earlier. I was like, if she was born in space, like she'd be taller than average because gravity. Like it'd be anyway. Anyway, that's off topic. Sorry.
No worries. But yeah, you could. I mean, Harrow, when you were the way the bureaucrat described these guards is this is their way of like avoiding real duty, right? They're not going to be they have orders to keep the prisoner there and, protect him from scavengers, but they're not going to mindlessly
They might
shoot.
not necessarily be people that would be against just coming to a deal.
Yeah, definitely.
I worry because we are a crew of not especially socially well-graced people.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I mean, you'd probably be the most likely one. No.
That's fair. So do we want to try and get a las cutter?
Yeah, that sounds
I
pretty
mean,
Probably.
We could try to talk to the guards, and then if that goes to shit, then go through the pipes.
I think my one little hitch with that is that if we talk to them, it goes badly. We put them on high alert.
Mhm.
That's why we
Okay.
should do it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Have someone in the pipe waiting. So if it all goes to shit and they need to jump out, get the signature, and pop back up, it's while there is a massive distraction. If it all goes well, they can just slide back to where they came from.
Everybody has Vox beads, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking here at the tool list. The las cutter is only 170 solars. I've got 220, and it's common availability. So
Yeah. You don't have to
Yeah,
worry
I've
about
got
that.
200, so
yeah, we can get one, and then whoever goes in the pipe can just bring it with them and
Mhm.
try to weld their way through the grating.
fun.
Yeah,
land.
which it's definitely going to be limb, and that's definitely a tech use.
Ooh, what is my tech? I might try to fight you on this. My tech is 34,
Mhm.
and so here's
I
the
would say
thing.
it's plus 10 because it's not super hard. Yeah.
I
The main thing is a fail check doesn't mean you don't get through. It just means you take damage because it's you're in tight quarters and it's really fucking hot. And
I'm gonna make a suggestion here, right?
okay.
So it's not about how to use the las cutter, right? That's not what this is about, right? It's about the contortion. It's about flattening yourself in the pipe. It's about getting something up from underneath you or pushing it through and positioning it in the right way. This is not a tech roll. It's an agility roll.
Yeah, let's see. Well, it's
this
not
is-
agility. It has to be a
It'd
skill.
be dexterity.
Dexterity, yeah.
Yeah, dexterity.
I mean,
okay.
this is like trying to, when you are in the middle of the back seat, trying to
Okay,
take
yeah.
off your coat.
I would dexterity, yeah, plus 10 bonus. Wow.
Yeah! Woo!
It actually, I went to the dexterity. It says this skill is vital for performing maintenance works on most technological devices. So yeah, cutting and welding is pretty routine maintenance shit.
So
yeah.
Also, when we regardless of how we get to the tech priest, does whoever get to him just going to be like, "Hey, put a stamp on this"? What is our plan?
I mean,
for
if
that?
it's me, I will, unless you tell me
no,
to
but
do
I guess-
something else.
I guess that's the other question though. Is okay? Do we just give Lim the paperwork and then just
Yeah.
because we only have
He has to sign it. He has to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because he's still under investigation, he's still.
Well, can you make a copy?
Copy?
Yeah, you can have copies of the paperwork. That's not the problem. The problem is, will he do it? Will he agree to do it?
Well,
Yes, if I
if
ask him, he will.
Yeah.
push comes to shove, if I can get close enough to him, he'll sign it.
Not necessarily. Well, does your character have a lot of experience with the tech priests?
Well, I mean, if I can succeed to compel psychic power, I can make him do one thing. In which case, I could make him sign it, depending on how stiff his resistance to
Rabbit,
psychic
you can
shit
give
is.
me a plus 10 on a logic check.
a 67. When plus 10 would be 74.
Mm-hmm.
So that passed then.
Okay. So what you realize, you don't know this tech priest. They're very weird. They're, cyborg people that believe the flesh is a weakness and want to become as machine-like as possible, right? They're an odd bunch, but they're very logical. But his whole case he hasn't been put on trial yet. His whole case it revolves around not using the right incense when he was doing his duties. If you could, and it lists in the documentation the type of incense that he needs. Maybe if you could give him the incense, maybe he could use that in his case and just say, "No, see, I used the incense. It was just later, so it's not tech heresy.
He doesn't have to know that the judge may never arrive because their ship could have been lost in the warp. That's not important here.
Yeah, well, they'll just send another judge eventually. Maybe in 30 cycles. 50. Who knows?
Just got to be patient.
Yeah, just got to be patient. So if you know the type of instance, if you could search for the instance, you're pretty sure he would sign the paperwork in exchange for that instance. But he may just do it on his own. You may just use your site. The Harrow says he can psychically compel him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no experience with tech priests. I can make normal people do things, but it's a bit of a risk.
I mean, the Ingeseers and the tech priests are still technically human, so
to what degree
have some kind of brain? Yeah, they're very how much of a RoboCop are you? Is basically
well, a trade is I think at least a more likely, or at least perhaps less risky than constantly tapping into the warp.
Yeah. So that would be a lore check to source the instance.
Should we all
want Oreos?
Should we all basically scatter throughout the bazaar? I'm assuming there's a marketplace. There's always a marketplace somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And we just sort of are we're looking for this, and we all scatter to try and find it.
Yeah.
Also, and grab a las pistol.
Las cutter. Yeah.
Las cutter.
Yeah. So you get the las cutter.
If Lim wants a las pistol, I'm sure we can get Lim a las.
Oh, I already have a las pistol.
Okay.
I have that stashed away. I would have fried us all.
Yeah, so lore would help you source that. That would be a pretty easy thing to figure out.
How's a 25 go?
So
Under 64.
You actually know to look up, they have these, the Imperial priests and the tech priests have their own, logistical things to get them the components they need, right? And they have documentation for it. So you look that up, and you find out that it's under all the instance of this planet is under the control of Hans Nomernarn, and it's a simple matter to find him in the market because he's known as the Hoarder, Hans the Hoarder, and people point out to the warehouse where he has many crates of things, a pair of armed combat servitors, so cyborgs with big guns and clampy arms. That's how he's able to keep his stuff, and it's become a joke. You're being greedy. You're being like a hoarder. He takes things and he just keeps them. He hoards them, and nobody knows exactly why. But yeah, Hans is refusing to sell the incense he was supposed to sell. So, and it's been like this for a while.
So that's probably not unrelated to why our tech priest didn't have the incense he was supposed to have.
Correct.
But you can talk to Hans over the box. He'll talk to people.
I think at that point we could just bring down justice on him, because if you have the incense and you refuse to sell it, that feels like some crime.
Oh yeah. You made your logic check. There's 3 levels of heresy. Nothing major. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a pretty easy thing to be able to bring up, but yeah, okay, cool. Then yeah, let's chat with Hans.
All right, do you want to talk to him first?
I can try, and then somebody who actually has skill in words.
Khurt was your talker last time with the gag, so
Khurt I think is the only one of us that actually has any skills in talking.
I mean, I have some amount in presence, but that's more for just being creepy.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, whatever is the opposite of presence is what I have.
All right. Okay, we'll just have Khurt. You can vox to Hans the Hoarder. Hello, this is Hans.
Hans.
Yes.
You don't know me.
No.
But I'm looking. What am I looking to get here?
The incense. The tech priest incense. Yeah.
I hear you have a line on some incense.
Oh yes, very holy incense. I had a vision from the Emperor, and he, after I got hit on the head that night, and the Emperor said it was very holy, and I prayed on it, and I realized it is the Emperor chose me to protect this incense from heathens and xenos and heretics, And so that's what I'm doing. I'm guarding the incense. It's very well guarded.
Well, that's very good. But I need to get my hands on some of that incense. See, I was talking to an astropath friend of mine, and he needs that incense, that type of incense, to help him really attune with the higher realms, so that we can leave this wonderful planet of yours when our trade here is done. So what is it gonna cost you to part with a little bit of that incense?
No cost. I must, if it is my duty, I will do it, because I am a loyal servant of the Empire, of the Imperium, and I will never. I just need proof that it is for righteous purposes. I will pray on it, and maybe when I sleep tonight, I'll have a vision about it, and if it's a good vision, I'll let you know.
Cover the Vox. Hey, the Harrow.
Yes.
Can you affect people's dreams?
Interesting question. Hold on a second while my player scrolls through the manual to remind themselves of what my powers are.
I will say you could
Well, I have mental interrogation, and I'm looking up what that is, because I know that if someone is asleep, it works better. But
okay. Yeah, I will. You could spend you know what? If you spend a fate point, I'll say you know a way to influence your will through his sleep.
Let's see.
Is that one of the ones we get back, or one of the ones will be lost
Yeah,
forever?
you'll get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Target makes a test with disadvantage if they are unconscious, but to dive into their minds, sift through their memories. So that's more for reading their mind and not for like putting things in. But I mean, yeah, I'll spend a fate point if that will allow it. But unfortunately, I have to be there for that to work. I can't do that over the phone.
Right. Okay. Hans.
Yes, hello.
I'm gonna grab this brush as my
You
box.
sound like a loyal citizen too. You're definitely not a heretic, are you?
No, I'm a member of the
If you're a heretic, you have to tell me.
Yep, that's how that works.
Yeah.
No, I'm a member of the Guard.
Yes.
Astra
You mean the
Militarum
Astra?
Man.
Yes. It's not the Imperial Guard anymore. It was never.
They keep trying to. It says
that's a heresy, I believe. Yeah.
It says infantryman on my primer. Look, yes, no, I'm a tried and true Imperium man myself. So you go ahead and sleep on it. Where are you located? Where can we come
I live in the warehouse at the end of the market. Okay. It's got the big It's got the big servitors with the big heavy bolters on their arms that points at all the civilians. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
If they riot, they'll die. If I get a vision, if the Emperor tells me to kill them, I'll kill them.
You're a very holy and blessed man, Hans.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you in the morning.
Okay. Yes, I look forward to having the vision from the Emperor.
Okay. You're all right. Bye.
I'm gonna take a look at Khurt, and I'm just gonna be like, you didn't think it was worthwhile to mention the heresies he's committing by not making this available to people who need it,
or lying about the Emperor speaking to him in his dreams. The Emperor does not speak to him. I would know.
Thanks, Lim.
You're very welcome. I will let you know if I find anything else.
Okay. Well, he's located at the end of the market. A couple big servitors outside. I say we stick around. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to take the Harrow to the side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Lim... Rabbit, you can come over here, too.
Lim is like, yes, this is normal. People often have conferences that I am not invited to directly in front of me. She is unperturbed by this in any fashion.
I think Lim might take it a little personally if I suggest what I'm going to suggest. But we need to get this incense. And the man was talking about only selling it if he gets a vision from the Emperor that tells him to do so. So if you can do some of your psyker stuff, we can just a little image of the Golden Throne incense, something like that might help him to.
It depends. I cannot guarantee that this is slightly outside of my typical purview when stepping into the minds of others, but we can We can certainly see. I have no particular moral qualms. What we do is in the service of justice, as we have been ordered by those who serve justice above us. So we do what we must to reach those ends.
Exactly. So the main thing is just getting you close enough to exert your will.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna reach into my pack and I'm just gonna not openly because they're still very illegal for some people to have. It's fine that I have it, but other people are not allowed to. But I will pull out my multi-key and I just say, if this would be of use.
Very much so.
Yeah, any of you can roll awareness. Like, the warehouse is just there at the edge of the market. All of you can, scope it, case it without really, put yourself at risk.
Am I brought back into the fold now?
Yes.
I rolled an 88.
No, I rolled a 2.
Oh, those servitors don't work. You should just walk up.
Yeah,
Just
it'll
kick
be
the
fine.
door. Yeah.
I think
You won't
those work.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah.
I rolled a 5.
Okay.
Oh yeah, what are we checking?
Casing the warehouse, how to get in
Awareness.
there. Yeah. So
A 39 success.
those of you succeed can see multiple ways in. The main security this thing there's 3 forms of security for this place. One is it's full of shit that nobody mostly gives a shit about. No one's. 2 is obviously the servitors with the fucking bolters. Those things, heavy bolters. Those what's in there is definitely not risk accidentally getting shot by them. And 3, it's got doors and locks, but the servitors have a very fixed routine, patrol routine, right? So it's very easy to time it and get to the door. And the 4th thing is the guy's undoubtedly in the warehouse. So you open the door, he's probably going to hear, unless there's some other noise to. There's doors, there's windows. You can't really see any vents in there that are big enough for any of you to get into. But yeah, if you can make a noise on the outside, on the opposite side of the warehouse, someone can run up, use the multi-key on the door, and then hide in there and wait for him to fall asleep. So that would be make a noise, and then the Harrow can use the multi-key to get in. Of course, then the Harrow would have to hide there until the guy falls asleep.
Why? The Harrow can just choose to not be seen, including by cameras and mechanics, and just
There's
leave.
still a chance I can be seen. I can't fail to activate it, but they can still potentially see me, especially if I'm pushing my luck for too long.
Well, whether you're just using regular stealth or psychic stealth, it doesn't matter. You just have to wait
I generally use psychic stealth. I'm not actually that sneaky in real life.
Okay. So, you'd have to use that and just wait for him to fall asleep, right?
Yeah, I'm checking can't remember how the sustained...
Because there's he might be asleep already whenever you go in. You just can't tell. He's inside the warehouse the whole time. So.
Is this like a distance thing or an eye contact thing?
Oh, this is just anything around me. It can't see me.
No, with the psychic powers. Because I think that Ross is going...
manipulation.
Yeah, I think Ross is going for a thing, and I don't want to spoil it, but arguably, if his bed is against a wall, you could just smash your head in the wall and think real hard. If it's not about
if I find where he sleeps, I was just gonna either hide in a closet or a bed.
No, you don't even have to go inside if you can do it through a wall.
I think it would not work through an exterior wall.
Okay.
You would need to be inside the building.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the outer walls are too thick.
All right, we'll go with that.
And I think most psychic powers need line of sight, so you'd have to be able to see him. So
the one that we're fudging is definitely like a line of sight. Got to be short range.
Yeah.
Power mental interrogation, short range. Yep.
Okay. So
we're sneaking in the warehouse. Why play with his mind and not just grab the incense and leave? He'll never even notice it's gone.
The warehouse is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wouldn't really know where to look.
I could also just take that information from his mind while he's asleep and pick it up myself. But
you can read minds through it?
Well, yeah, that's what mental interrogation is for. That's what it's actually for.
So yeah, you could just do that. Either way.
If it's unfindable, then put in the fix to have him give it to us.
It's definitely in there. I will say that. I'm not gonna. So the main thing is making noise to mask the sound of the door open. I think the multi-key just works. You don't need to make a skill check to use it.
We just have to set up one of the security bots. That's all.
No, it says you can use a multi-key in combination with dexterity lock-picking test to bypass locks of Imperial design.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, you'd have to make a dexterity check. So,
Oof. Well, I
Did I
got a
tell you-
34 in that, so
well, Lim's very good at dexterity, apparently. So,
I am.
yeah, but I also
that's-
can't be invisible next to Lim.
so Lim could run in, open the door, run away, and then
Yeah.
there runs in. All
Yes.
the while, the others are making noise on the other side of the warehouse to distract the bots, the servitors.
Yeah, this seems like a normal and good plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see any problem with it, to be honest.
Okay. All right. So Khurt and Rabbit, what's the distraction?
I have a smoke grenade.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have a thing.
Okay.
I was just looking at it. I have a choke grenade.
A little aggressive.
Deal. But I mean, if we want to distract them, we could just, because it's just like a web grenade, basically, where you just throw it and like tie someone up. I thought it would be useful for the mission, but we could also just, use it to tangle up the servitors for however long.
Well, I
And-
mean, the main thing right now is just making a noise to cover the sound of the door opening, right? That's the assuming
Yeah,
you
you
can
just-
pick the lock. Yeah.
You could just be shooting at windows, like
Yeah. But the smoke grenade would cause people to be like, it's in a crowded market area. There's a lot of people. You throw a smoke grenade, people are going to panic and think there's a fire or something. And they're yeah.
That's fair,
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say maybe something more akin to good old fashioned vandalism than good old fashioned terrorism.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to do the smoke grenade, that's fine. Rabbit, or what are you
No,
doing?
it's a choke grenade, not a smoke grenade.
I have a smoke grenade.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's a stummer?
that is a cancel ambient noise through. Cancels ambient noise. It increases the difficulty of awareness checks for sound. So yeah.
Is that a thing you have?
Oh well, there you go. You could just use the stummer, and then you don't need to cause a distraction because opening the door will be quiet. Yeah.
Great.
The stummer,
Stummer
does
and a
have
multi-key.
the stummer does have a downside, though,
Okay.
because it sucks.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Is it shoddy and ugly because you're a ganger?
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Does
a
it-
shoddy, ugly-ass stummer. I wrote it down, but I do not know what it means.
Okay, well,
diesel-powered stummer.
I'll say it's only going to last for a couple minutes instead of 20 minutes, which is the standard.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it has a shitty battery. So basically, you need to. So we'll go ahead and start. Lim, you have the multi key. You have your stummer. You activate the stummer. You wait for the servitors to pass. You run up to the door. Give me a dexterity check to use the multi key to unlock the door.
Yes, hold on 1 second. Come on. Don't fuck this up. 31 under 45.
Oh yeah, you had a bonus anyway. So yeah, you really succeed, and the door is open. No one hears because the stummer neutralizes the sound, and you can get out of the way so the Harrow can rush in. And yeah, you rush in there. Go ahead and give me that psychic activation.
Right. So let's see. That's at a plus whatever that powers thing is. Hold on. Oh, it's on the wrong page.
I also have a Laud Hailer if we ever need one of those.
Let's see here. Well, he failed
it's
as
plus
well.
40. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty low. 32.
Oh, that's
But
fine.
still.
He failed it. He rolled over his will. So yeah. He rolled-
Gotcha.
Yeah. So which power is it? This is the
This is psychic static,
all right.
clouding the minds of creatures and devices. on
So
page
you
169.
walk into you get into the warehouse. It is just large it is overflowing with goods. Just the most random assorted imperial goods you've seen. Shelves are just stacked with crates and boxes and just loose goods of all types, most caked in dust. In fact, as you walk, whenever you bump against a shelf, little clouds of dust burst around you. Most of the comet you can see where he walks because of what isn't covered in dust. There's a dim light a couple of dim lights, but most of it is quite dark. You can hear a staticky Vox system broadcasting or playing Imperial hymns. Basically their AM radio, just old timey music. And the Hans is like, yes, Emperor, Emperor protects. I'll see you tonight, my lord. Yes. So many things that would have been wasted that I have protected for your glory. Look, these optics. Look, they're so nice. Yeah, he's just he got a little obsessed with his work of protecting things in the warehouse, that he realized that that things in a warehouse have to go out too. So he's just kind of doddering along. And you can use your power now, I guess, if you want to use it standard and get
because it's it's easier for someone to defend against it if they're conscious. So since I can sustain psychic static as a free action, I'm basically just going to follow the weirdo around for the rest of the day until he goes to sleep.
Okay, yeah, which isn't too long actually, because he's a crotchety old man, and he lies down in his bed, muttering about the Emperor, and falls asleep. So go ahead and give me the roll.
Okay, so I'm spending a fate point just to use this power differently. Mm-hmm. And page 180, where is it? Mental interrogation, 182. So I don't get a bonus on this one. It is just target must make a challenging discipline, in parentheses, psychic test opposing your manifest test. They make with disadvantage if they are unconscious. So, hooray.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Psychic mastery is... It'd be very funny if I fail this. No, 58. I succeed.
All right, normally he would have gotten a 29 and succeeded on his, but that becomes a 92 because he had disadvantage. So that actually mattered. And yeah, you see where it is. You get an impression of it, and you also what is the vision of the Emperor telling him to give up the incense to Khurt? What does this vision look like? The author.
The incense is sort of flowing. It's an image of the Emperor sort of opening the doors of the warehouse, like the light of the Emperor pours forth, and like the smell, the sort of burning incense smoke sort of flows out into the streets, carrying the light of the Emperor somehow further on its smoke.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sign. Yeah. So you can leave the warehouse at this point?
Yes, and probably after I do that, find a nice quiet place to purge all this warp I keep building up.
Oh no.
because that causes funny things to happen wherever I do that.
Okay, yeah. You can head down to a lesser used part of the hive city.
Yeah, normally I would probably just do it in the warehouse, but I also need this guy to help us, so I'll go ahead and not do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Turn to purgation, get rid of successful purgation test removes an amount of warp charge up to your willpower bonus. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I think I can just do this if we're not in combat. I just have to roll if it's... Yeah. Okay, so what is my willpower bonus?
I think it's just your 10s of your will.
4. Okay, so I can just flush all of that, and then the little side alley that I am in when I do this, 22. It is covered with a thin layer of frost.
Yeah.
And then I go back to the others.
So you all wait for a few hours. The old man boxes you, Khurt. He's like, I've had a vision. The incense, it is yours for the taking, my son. He needs you to do it for a great and noble purpose.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we will be there in just a few minutes to come pick that up from you.
Oh, bless you, bless you. My life has purpose.
The Emperor protects. Thank you. Bye.
So... The servitors have this big crate of incense, and you just need one can of it. Just like, here, take as much as you need.
It's just the one. Thank you.
He's just cackling. He's so happy. This old man. So you get the incense. Do you just want to walk up to the guards and like, hey, yeah, like what's the play for? Yeah, because Yeah, you still have to deal with the guards.
I'm really bad at lying, but so I definitely don't want to be in charge of trying to convince them that we are here to deliver the incense that he had ordered. We were told we could find him here because that seems silly and not like a thing guards would care about, but they might.
I mean, you could just lie without lying. We have something for the tech priest. It's something tech priests use in order to maintain machines, which is what you're asking, which is what he's supposed to be doing there anyway.
Right.
I mean, if they decide that that was ordered or you were sent here, that's on them. You're just giving what needs to be done. This is the Empire. We all fulfill our purpose.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And if they ask you who sent you here, just say you're not at liberty to say it, because you're not.
I mean, wouldn't it be a heresy to prevent a tech priest from doing their job and, preventing this delivery? Like, that seems,
Yeah.
We're on a mission from the Emperor.
I mean, literally, though.
I mean,
yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine trying that route.
As far as the patron is concerned, or as far as the Harrow is concerned, our patron is in the chain of command leading directly to the Emperor. So.
At all times, I am in the service of the Emperor.
Yeah, Khurt, if you want to go with that, just give me a persuade check. I'll give you a +10 bonus.
Khurt, enjoy the sunglasses.
You gotta roll with the shades on. What are you doing?
Yeah, hold on. So, because these are like polarized glasses, I basically can't see the monitor when they're on.
That sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, is that rapport?
Yeah, sorry, rapport. Yeah,
okay, that's kind of what I thought, but.
Yeah, my rapport is 20, so there's no way I'd make any of those checks.
Mine is 38, so
better than mine.
Yeah, you get a +10.
A +10. I'm going to need to re-roll that.
Mine is 30.
Wow, you are better at talking to people than Rabbit is.
There we go. 29.
Rabbit likes paperwork
29.
and not much else.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to the guards and you explain that you have the instance, that we can resolve this, and you can just like see their shoulders slump, and they're like, as they're just disappointed, and you realize, oh God, our sweet easy gig is over now. But they because you had carried yourself, they're like, yeah, we knew this was too good to last. Not like, fuck, if we kill this guy, we can keep the good easy gig going. So they accept it. They're very sad that they no longer get to guard a single tech priest fixing a machine in an empty hangar for every day for years. Because it's been 8 years that they've been guarding this guy.
God.
Yeah, they love it. They just get to sit here. There's actually like 4 shifts of guards just devoted to this. So they take turns. It's the safest gig for an enforcer in the Hive City. So.
Wait.
But the dream is over, yeah.
Can I ask an incredibly dumb question? They're guarding him until
the judge
gets here.
Yeah.
Us giving him the incense has no reflection on that.
Well, it does, because it means he's not a heretic. Because he gets because the way the law is written, it doesn't matter if he waves the right incense on the circuit board, it means it's not heresy anymore.
So
it's retroactively not heresy.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking something.
Sure, don't question it.
Yeah.
Their laws of the Imperium are perfect and flawless. Why would you ask this? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something a heretic would ask, Lim.
Yeah. So
that was clearly Kara asking that.
Yeah.
Lim would never question such things.
Yeah. So,
Lim, what is a mountain? Would never be concerned of such things.
Mountains, farms, those are abstract concepts. So, Khurt, you see this red robe, a priest hunkered over this giant machine that I said is like multiple towers, all scattered throughout like a square block, and there's just many like little intricate things, and there's like one of them, they're all dark, but one of them has a blinking light like in the middle of it, and the tech priest Spinoza is looking at it very intently, and he has, the red robes. He also has like 4 mechanical limbs coming out from his spine, all working on various things, and his face is just a mask of machinery and optics. He has the respirator on, and he turns to you. He's like, "Hello,
You're Spinoza?
Yes.
Got a delivery here for you.
The incense!
Hold on. Need you to sign here first.
The vocational certification for the orphanarium. Yes, they were asking me about this before my heresy. Well, it's not going to be heresy soon. Yes, I'd be happy to sign this. Excellent. The children have small fingers. Excellent for working machines.
That's what I hear.
Yes. Wait. Oh no. There's only one problem. Well, I suppose it's none of your concern. It's fine. He looks. You didn't know Tech Priest could look sad, but he does.
With a long face.
Well, I like knowing what I'm doing. I know what my purpose is, and for the last 8 years, before my heresy, it was. And he takes a little circuit board that's on a little desk next to him. He takes it out and lights the incense and waves it over the circuit board. There, I'm not a heretic anymore. But what do I do? I've been banished.
Hold on,
from
actually, Harrow, the Harrow steps slightly closer to Lim uncomfortably and is like, Lim, did you see? You just saw the end of a heresy.
It's beautiful.
All right, steps back away.
All right. I've been let go. They brought in other tech priests to do my previous job, maintaining the air filtration systems and the level of 9S, the where the orphanarium was. I don't have a purpose anymore. What and the higher magos of the Adeptus Mechanis, who knows when they'll be here to give me a new assignment. Who are you, by the way, that you would provide me with my salvation and also my purgatory?
Well, I'm Guardsman Khurt Neksilp. We're here to apprehend some people for our patron, and we have to gather some resources, and helping you out helps us out.
Well, I'm glad I could be of some service.
And it is always a joy to see the end of a heresy.
Yes, I did not want to be a heretic. I just the man they couldn't get my incense delivered, and the circuit board had to be repaired. And of course, now it was heresy. They rejected my work. It's fine soldering. Do you know much of soldering?
No.
It's very good soldering. But I don't know what I'll be doing now.
What if he fixes the stuff in the jail?
We might actually have some work for you.
It's not heretical work, is it? I'm not a heretic.
No,
Okay.
Of course not.
Yes.
We would never ask that of you.
And the orphanarium is full of children with clever hands to teach to work.
Yes, they are very good at working.
And they want to work.
Excellent, yes. Well, yes, I will come. Yes, you said there's a jail. Excellent. I love working in jails. Making the bars strong and the cameras very deceptive. Yes, ominous. That's it. Yes.
It will be... We need to be sure that the jail is capable of containing those touched by the warp. It will be...
a truly worthy task, yes.
It will be serious labor, but I believe you will find it rewarding.
It will be, yes. I will follow you. Tell me, are there any servitors?
They are very old.
Oh, good. Well, we may need... I could simply strip them down and make new servitors. Do you have anybody who'd like to be turned into a servitor? A simple lobotomy?
Does it
I still
matter
have use for my living flesh, so...
Yeah, not you, but any enemies or heretics.
Not
okay. Yes. Not yet. Yes.
Does it really matter what they want?
Well, no. It's what you want. You provided my salvation until the judge arrives. Until the other tech priests arrive. I'm indebted to you. So
we've made no corpses here as of yet, but
no, they have to be alive. So. Some yes. I mean, we could just grab one of these guardsmen don't these enforcers don't have any work now. I could turn them into servitors. Yes.
It'll be a longer road. We can find new servitor parts as we go.
Oh, they have families. I think they have some. I've been listening to them for the last 8 years talking about their families. They have very large families now. There's plenty of people we could pull from. No, take it. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, so you get a tech priest, Spinoza. You take him back to the orphanarium. You've saved the orphanarium, and you are you are ready to jump on it sounds like you're all voting to jump on the train get to the factory center to...
That's my vote.
Yeah.
I mean, is anyone against train hopping? Which does someone have the deep perversion of not wanting to hop on a train?
Lim, because it's funny, Lim raises, after the discussion of what we should do, what this is, what that is, what is a train?
Long series of mobile vehicles chained together to hold cargo over long distances.
Yes. Yes, I would like to do this.
All right. So before we go, if anybody wants to make, let's say, lore checks or any sort of check that you think to research what's going on in the factory sector.
I got a fate point
and
left.
also what Nova is doing, your target. You know, she's working with House Vanderguard as an advisor.
I still have one fate left, so I can risk a lore check that I'm terrible at.
I can swap the 10s and the 1s with the fate point, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to do that, and I end with an 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got an 6 on my lore check. So yeah.
Oh my god!
So between you all, you talk, looking through some documents and some, Kali's very helpful, and she gives you access to her cogitator, which has lots of documentation about the Civil War. And basically, yeah, the factory center is under siege right now. Well, it's kind of like World War I, 2 long trench lines facing each other. House Paxo on one side and House Vanderguard. Nova's in the House Vanderguard side as an advisor. But what becomes clear to you now by doing some footwork is that Nova has sided with some merchants and some arms manufacturers here in Damnadon. And basically, she is advising House Vanderguard not to win the war, but to keep the war as protracted as possible. So she seems to be... There's some sort of scam going on that she's working on, but she has some allies here in Damnadon through arms merchants, but yeah, the House Vanderguard, apparently every once in a while she comes up with something that wins them a lot. So the Harrow, did you succeed on your lore check?
Yeah, I got an 6 out of 28.
So what makes you? So House Vanderguard has only done so since she's become an advisor. But they keep her around, so which suggests to you either she is got some kind of abilities to manipulate the minds of others, or she's got some divination powers, or maybe both. So that's going to be the trick: is how do you sneak up on somebody who can see the future? So
probably the person with stealth who can eliminate someone's ability to see the future. She's not going to see
also the
me
person
coming.
whose future.
That's
yeah, the
true.
person whose future may or may not be visible. I don't actually know how time interacts with people who are absent of the warp. That's an interesting question.
Yep. So you think about all this, and you can decide whether you want to do something to her allies before you leave the city, or you just hop on the train. But you get that'll be for next time. So because you have secured a home base, you've secured some allies, and you figure out where all your targets are. You know how to get to them. So you're making progress. Good job. Yay! Now you get to go into the war zone next time.
I know that, Ross, you can't answer this, or I won't believe you no matter what you say. But after
that's a good policy with him, regardless.
Yeah, after being really, really traumatized by one of the Delta Greens, wherein halfway through the DM started giving us everything we wanted as a fucking trick. Caleb.
Yeah.
And that has now made me paranoid beyond all belief. This went really well, and I am full of concern. Are you... This is too much of a crap sack world for it to go this well. We have allies. People just agreed to do things. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a shootout where we all nearly bled to death. I'm not used to things going this well.
I mean, he did say that each encounter could be handled without violence because there's one of us that has violent skills. So
yeah, I'm only good at violence if I get away with my psychic bullshit. If I start failing that, I will probably die very quickly. It'll be fun.
I'm just saying that in previous games, when things went well, it was because the game itself was plotting against me.
Well, what I've realized as a game master over the years is that you got to give the players the illusion of hope first before you crush them. You can't just do it right out of the gate. You got to give them something to. Yeah.
Ross is helping us set up all of the things that we will lose or will fail us over the following.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. I love this.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you're gonna pull one like nothing has been real, all of this was ruined, and it's gonna have to be 10 things in.
I think you're generalizing a very specific campaign to other experiences, Kara.
Yeah, this is also thematically not God's Deed.
It literally gave me nightmares. So
yeah, this is more like I'm more of the absurdist comedic side of Warhammer 40K, which is like things like movies like Brazil many wars ago. Which
what if the third man was a little pulpier?
Yeah, exactly. The third man. So things like there's misery, things like that, but it's more of a farce, right? Like it's like dealing with ridiculous nightmare bureaucracies, you know.
Yeah, I feel like the 8 years of waiting for the judge that'll never show up is a nice touch. That may be my favorite so far.
Yeah,
so we are not playing Berserk in space. All right, so it's not. And that's why I'm like, okay, this is gonna be dark and it's gonna be crap sack world, and I'm like, this sack ain't crapping enough.
Yeah,
maybe more of like an only war campaign.
Yeah, I wanted to do I wanted to have a story in Warhammer 40K that where the bad guy wasn't chaos or evil aliens. Like it's just people being dicks to each other and like for petty and dumb reasons. So the third man is another touchdown. So yeah, that's the idea. Like you know I mean, there's chaos that you saw chaos cultists in the first session, but yeah, it's not going to be a chaos all the time. Or
you mean those incredibly poor space farmers that we murked?
Yeah.
Those, the very same.
They hired a bounty hunter to come after me.
I thought you decided that was the Scrolljackers.
Yeah, that was the Scrolljackers from. Yeah. The people, the gang members you threw.
It would be very funny if somehow the dirt farmer chaos cult figured out who Khurt was and sent a bounty hunter after specifically him.
I think I might be offended, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, just roll better and you'll get a bounty hunter too.
Or you know what it is, you just have to let Ross roll for you.
That's the mistake. Ross will definitely screw you over with his dice.
Ross, I'll have you know that one time I killed a bear with my rolls.
Yeah, no.
Delta Green, which is pretty impressive.
There's a lot of things for you to kill in this campaign. Any other final thoughts or comments from everybody before we go?
I think this is fun. It does make me laugh that Khurt, who's like our military dude, is the face of the group. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but I think it's great.
When I was rolling up my stats, so
I can do face stuff, but only via intimidation. I cannot really be personable.
Yeah, that I think that is the problem, though. Partly, right?
Everything that makes my character useful makes them unbearable to be around. Which, honestly, same.
Well, next time that if it turns out Nova's a diviner, like you'll be the group's ace in the hole to capture her.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there you go. So next session you'll be heading to the factory and we'll see how that goes. Well, first you got to catch a train, and it'll definitely be cool and normal with no Ernest Borgnine knockoff guy trying to kill you.
Yeah, Alpha Ernest, number 1. That's
Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah.
And on that note, it was such a great session right up until.
All right. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.